We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good to have you back. Ernie Johnson with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Ben Simmons had it going on in the first quarter. He ended up with 17 points, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the 76ers?
In simple truth, they just got hot. Didn't matter what the defense was doing, Ernie. They were definitely able to rise above it. Even the tough shots. Did you see that one shot? I don't know how they even went down. They can carry this over to the second half. It's going to be hard to beat them, boy. Woo-wee.
And now, Kenny, let's get your opinion on the Bulls.
Their inaccuracy from behind the arc was brutal. Shot selection, I didn't see any. The perimeter offense they're running, you could scrap that. They need to get back to the basics. Pound it inside, more pick and roll. Try to pick up some easy buckets in transition.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period.
Of good shots. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Moves very unselfish. And they reveal some secrets, or they say some things they wish they could take back. So I think it all comes down to the individual. You gotta understand media before you try to jump out and start doing these podcasts.
Well said. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. So long. Rugged defense setting the tone. Back to the action after this word. The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back. It is bedlam here. The hometown crowd loving that first half. I'm Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. It was a great half of basketball from John Wall. He had 13 points, 4 steals, and 1 rebound. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Wizards.
There's been one thing that's made a difference in this game above all else: their control of the backboard. They put forth an amazing effort on the glass, and the rebounding numbers aren't even close, Ernie. That'll be something to keep an eye on in the second half. They will be very tough to contain if that continues.
And Shaq, your thoughts on the Heat?
They were brick city, and it was painful to watch. Weak shooting starts to get contagious, and they were struggling all over the place. They got to work on getting more high-quality chances, more layups, fewer prayers.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
And to me, Jay,
That's
you
it up
love the
for Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. We'll get things started in the second quarter when we return.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. The first quarter for the Trailblazers was fairly even. At the end of the period, they held a 2-point lead. The second quarter was dead even in terms of their scoring output from both teams, and they still find themselves in a good position at the half. What'd you think about Portland, Kenny?
Well, I think to shoot a high percentage, your offense has to be in sync. And in the first half, those guys were sharing the basketball, playing for each other. Now it becomes a matter of being consistent at it.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on the Lakers?
Well, they remind me of Arizona. They were flat defensively. They didn't collapse at the end. They allowed over 50% shooting. I expect them to come out much more aggressive in the second half and try to take the lead early on.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter is set to begin in just a few.
From Portland, we're back in a moment.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, a great job with the eyes.
Game
what
of the
separates
NBA
great
season.
play.
So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.